Welcome back everybody, TheProSpartanGamer on Undisputed. This is the first video post the update that landed last week, which has changed quite a lot of things on the game, to be fair. Need to be more selective with the power punches now because it drains stamina really quickly. And if you overuse it, you get penalised. If you use too many in a round, you get penalised and you lose an awful lot of stamina. Haven't actually played anything in the career mode since they've done it, but had a couple fights in the quick fight, and it has changed the game quite a lot, really. Means you've got to be selective when you use the power punch. You've got to look for opportunities when to use them, because if you probably might get away with it in the four round fights early on in the career, but as you progress later on, 6-8 rounds or anything more than that, you're going to be absolutely shagged and out on your feet for stamina if you go just throwing the haymakers and the bombs all the time. So going to make it harder for those fighters like the new one that just came into the loot, Julian Butterbean, and probably Beyonce, maybe Gannicus, I don't know, who rely on those big knockout blows, because if you miss a few of them, you're going to be in trouble. May favour the more swarmer fighter, the in and out and the jab and the weaver. Not sure. We'll have to see how it pans out. Anyway, this is a bit of an update video on the Lotus. Last couple episodes was Tommy Too Tight and Gannicus. Before that, you saw the introduction of Julian Butterbean, who is obviously our main sponsor for the Lotus. Well, since then, there has been more fighters created in the Creator Collection, which I'm going to show you. They're not in the Lotus at the moment. We've got to make a decision on whether we bring them in, but I thought I'd just show you what we've been up to and who there is that could come in future. And I'll just run through them with you. Remember that in here, the ones that haven't been added to career will have ratings of around 80, 81 in quick fight, but as soon as you add them into career, they go down to like 54, 55, 56, because they take on obviously the ratings you start off as in a career. The other thing we've trialed, which is a bit of a shame, because we could have gone on and made a hell of a lot more fighters like Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed, Drago, all those sort of, there's quite a few builds floating around that people have done that you can copy and put into game. I was hoping that I did a mock sort of career and tried to see if the fighters that you created would actually appear in your rankings so you could fight against them, because I thought that might have been a bit more interesting in some of the weights where there's not so many real fighters. If you could have made a few fighters and added them in, it would have made it a little bit better. I'm not sure why that's not in game. That would have been a nice feature to have added in game. And also, I'm not sure why the fighters you make can't stay in quick fight with their original stats, why they've got to go down, because they don't reappear in there as your stats go up. So a bit weird, that. A couple things that could be adjusted. Anyway, let's get into my collection. You'll recognise a few faces on here. There's a few that you won't recognise, and we're going to go through them with you. So Gannicus, you know all about him. Middleweight, there he is. As I said, he's 54 rated now, so in quick fight it wouldn't really be worth using him. A new one that we've made. Let's go in and we'll show you Leonardus. Obviously we did a Become a Legend series with Leonardus. Famous figure, as you know, obviously TheProSpartanGamer, so Spartans and Sparta is one of my favourite genres, and we've made him, and he looks pretty good, I think. Obviously only 18, so you can't get those weathered looks on him like you can, like he would have. Weight class, we've put him in as a welterweight because we haven't got any welterweights at the moment. Height 87, so he's 5'10". Body mass just over half, reach just over half, 68 kilos he weighs in at. Boxing DLs, there he is. Leonardus, forget the one. it wouldn't allow us not to have a surname, so we had to put something in. So I just put one. Bit weird, really. Kingmaker, because he obviously was the king of Sparta. 18, from Greece, Sparta. Obviously, all that makes pretty much sense. On to the next page. Obviously, you don't want to see his head, body, and all that razzmatazz. I'll just show you his punch style, orthodox. Punch set, I've gone for Usyk. I've not used Usyk's before, but I think it might suit him quite well. You see him. And a traditional block. Looking forward to using him, actually. He's obviously got all the usual stuff. That he's got the Lutus tattoo on his neck, a few other tattoos around the place. And there you see him. Got the old Sparta red in amongst his attire. And I'm sure he's going to be a unit. I mean, not that the stats you give him at the beginning makes any difference in a sense, but we would start off with a tank build for him, so really resistant, really big heart, courageous, and then we'd probably focus with him if we could focus with him having a big punch but being really good on defense and stuff like that, just to follow his sort of Spartan sort of archetype, really. There he is. Anyway, that's Leonidas, so possibly could come in. He's there, ready in the Rumbles to come in and be a good one, I think. Quite pleased with how he's turned out. Next up, we have... This is what a weird one. A few of you might not know who this is. Trevor Phillips. So... this is actually the name of the character that was in Grand Theft Auto 5, Trevor, the absolute old alcoholic madman. Well, this is him as a youngster. So, got the Stars and Stripes, American sort of shorts and boots. Does, obviously, in GTA, he's bold as a coot, and he wears sort of tinted glasses on occasions, but you can't have that in here, can you? So, he's welterweight as well. Body mass quite down, height quite down. He's 5'7", because he ain't that big, Trevor. Boxer details, Trevor Phillips. Nickname had to be Rockstar, obviously, because GTA link there. United States and Los Santos, which is where that game was made, obviously. It does, I mean, I can see similarities to the head shape and things like that. To Trevor, obviously not going to look like Trevor because Trevor's about 50 years old or whatever, isn't he? So, equipment, body tattoo, punch style, orthodox, gone for hands down with this one. So, giving you the Trevor was a bit of a sort of, yeah, whatever sort of guy when he takes on the world, thought the world owed him something. So that's what this Trevor's like. Tattoo wise, we've gone for some money on his arm, lightning, bag of money on the other side, because obviously he was into the heist, etc, etc. So that's Trevor Phillips, another welterweight. Don't know what you think of him, whether he'll come in, I'm not sure. He's got obviously the Lutus tattoo as well, something different, looking back at sort of the history on my channel and things, and obviously the GTA mayhems were something that really enjoyed. So Trevor was one of my favourite characters on there when he went Banzai, so I thought why not have a go at making Trevor. So that's Trevor. Okay, who else have we got for you? We have Song Grassen. This is from the recent Mock Master League that we did on eFootball, and Song Grassen was probably the star of the show. Tiny little wiener schnitzel, we used to call him, tiny little schnitzel crew, and that's what we've made him here. He's a bantamweight, so the lowest weight we could get. He's got no height, so he's the smallest you can actually get on the game, 5'1". Body mass only 20. So he's only 52 kilos. I mean, he's near, you know, a bag of spuds is nearly heavier than him. And he is obviously from... Song is his first name, Grasson's his second name. We've nicknamed him, tongue-in-cheek, the Giant, because obviously he's tiny. And he's from Bangkok, Thailand. We wanted to put in Bangkok with a C, but it wouldn't allow us, so we had to do it properly. He is going to be really quick to use, in and out sort of punch style. We are going for just traditional A on that, and traditional A because it's sort of in and out. He's a swarmer. We've gone for the swarmer archetype. Fighting style, yeah, swarmer. So all over the opponent, really quick in and out, and he obviously would be very much speed orientated as a boxer. If he comes into the Lutus, would be all out to make his speed really quick. Might suit him with the update because might not be throwing so many power punches as some of the others, and obviously being a bantamweight, he's going to be quite small, so he's probably not going to pack the biggest punch in town. But that is Song Grasson, and yeah, quite pleased with how he's turned out. Obviously looks a bit fiercer than in game. In game he looks a bit sort of in eFootball, he looked sort of almost a little bit cartoony, didn't he? Cartoony, really. But that's Song Grasson. And the last one that we've made, should he come in, is part of the backstory of Tommy Too Tight. It is his elder brother, who runs and owns a Chinese where Tommy works, and eats all the profits and eats all Tommy's food, hence why Tommy is so skinny. This is Tommy Two Ways, and he is packing some pounds away, as you can see in his stomach. That's why he's got the money bag on there, because that's where all the money goes, in his guts. And he is a bantamweight as well, believe it or not, just because of his height. He's only 5'4", 54 kilos of fat, really. So don't know how many bags of chicken balls, prawn crackers and egg fried noodles are in his guts, but a fair few. Body mass of 92%, body mass of fat, really. But that is Tommy 2, boxer DL wise, Tommy Two Ways, and obviously his nickname is the Boss, because he is the boss. And again, he's from China, and Chinatown, little tongue-in-cheek, same place as Tommy Too Tight. Same colour as Tommy Too Tight on the shorts and everything. He's obviously got the tattoo for the Lutus as well. He's a southpaw like Tommy. We've gone for the Joe Kawasaki unique boxing style for him. And obviously he's going to be quite slow, I imagine, but he's going to pack a fair punch. Bit like Julian Butterbean carrying some pounds. And Tommy, if he does come in, obviously it might be because Tommy Too Tight's career is over, or shame you can't do tag team boxing. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Where you tag like we do in the wrestling, because he could have had Tommy Too Tight and Tommy Two Ways as a tag team. That would have been quite fun. Punching style, he is an outboxer. I don't know if that's right for him, really. He probably should maybe be a slugger, really, but hard-hitting powerhouse. Don't know. What would box a puncher? Don't know, really. Might change him to slugger, actually. I think he's going to be a slugger. He's going to be more of a big hitting sort of boxer. So you're going to go slugger with him when he comes to it. And that is Tommy Two Ways. So obviously if they come in, then they will add to the Lutus. The Lutus of 5 that we've already got. Obviously we've got Gannicus, you know about. Julian Butterbean's just entered the Lutus. He's had 6 fights now and has won them all somehow or another. Jerry Rice holds the British title, don't forget. is undefeated. Tommy Too Tight has had his trials and tribulations, and we saw them in the last 2 episodes, didn't we? Bo Bjornsson holds the Norwegian title, don't forget. And I don't forgot to say, Gannicus Clay holds the Italian title and is probably in line for an intercontinental fight very soon against George Groves. But obviously, since the update, we probably won't go into any massive fights with any of these for a minute or two. Not title fights anyway. We'll probably go in and maybe have a couple farmer fights with them just to get used to how the update is going to actually affect each character and the way they previously fought. I've had a couple fights with Butterbean just because he's the lowest ranked one since the update, and he did manage to win both of them, but it was quite a learning curve because obviously he's very much reliant on the big haymaker punch, and every time he throws that, it does sap his stamina, especially if he misses. But he managed to save enough in the tank to finish people off in the 2 fights we had. But bearing in mind they were only 4-round fights. So Gannicus is on 8 10-round fights now. Jerry's on, well, Bo and Jerry, all of them really are, you know, minimum 6. Most of them 8-round fights now. So we're going to need to have a couple farming fights on most of them to see how the updates affected it. So I do think knockdowns aren't necessarily going to happen maybe so frequently. Maybe for me they will, but against me, I've obviously managed to knock down a lot of people. Like Gannicus has had so many knockdowns, it's unbelievable. I do think it's probably going to be harder. So we probably will have some farming fights. Just update you on all their records again. There's Julian 6-0, Gannicus 33-0, don't forget. Tommy Too Tight, mixed bag of fruit, I suppose. But he did do it, didn't he? And then he didn't. And then he did do it again, and he didn't. And he's come back and had another redemption. But he will undoubtedly probably have a 5th fight against his nemesis now, the man that he beat and then lost and beat and then lost. What a battle that's been. Jerry Rice proving doubters wrong with the title in 23 wins, no defeats. And then Bo also with 23 won that amazing fight last time out, if you remember it, against Ukrainian Kimchenko when they both went down 4 times. He's probably might be the next hardest of this list because you probably did rely quite a lot on power punches and that power jab, which obviously is going to be something we're going to have to work on. Obviously Gannicus can box, and he did finish a lot of people off with that lethal power uppercut. So might have to just wait for the opening with Gannicus. Tommy, it shouldn't affect as much. Jerry, don't know. Like I say, we're going to do some farming, and we'll get back. We will be back with the next episode when we have another fight of note, probably. Fight of worth, as we would have said in Spartacus Legends. But let us know if you fancy seeing any of those other 4 that we've made already. And I'm sure I'm going to make more. It's quite good fun making characters on here and then having a couple quick fights with them and then maybe getting them in a career. So I'm sure it's not going to be the end of them. But if there's any there you would like to see, or if you want to see all of them, let me know. We've got packed looters. I think you can have up to 10 saves, so we've got 5 there so far. Yeah, up to 10 saves, so obviously we can't go over 10. So if those 4 did all come in, then we'd only be left with 1. So until 1 retires, or whether Butterbean pops and explodes and there's half-eaten food all over the looters, I don't know, or whether he backs out, gets killed over, whether Tommy gives up and he hands over the mantle to Tommy 2 ways, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think, and we'll be back for some more action very soon.